A crucial diplomatic push is currently underway in Islamabad, one that could shape the next phase of the US-Iran engagement. The Iran-US peace talks are currently underway and they've been underway for at least 3 hours now. The White House is now confirming that there are face-to-face conversations that the American representatives are having with the Iranian representatives. These are the highest level of face-to-face conversations that the Americans and the Iranians are having since the 1979 revolution. The United States says that full teams of US experts on relevant subject areas are present in Islamabad. The White House has also put out that additional experts are supporting from Washington. Pakistan says that the United States and Iran have emphasized the importance of sustained dialogue and have noted that peace and stability in the region remains essential for economic cooperation and shared progress. The three-way talks are face-to-face between Steve Witkoff, JD Vance and Jared Kushner on one side, Iran's Ghalibaf, Abbas Araghchi, and also the Pakistani army chief is also reportedly present during these talks. Now, ahead of the talks, the American Vice President JD Vance held a closed-door bilateral meeting with Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, a meeting that included some key figures from both sides. Now, the American delegation featured the special envoy Steve Witkoff and Donald Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner, while Pakistan was represented by the Deputy Prime Minister and the Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar and Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi. The Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian has put out a statement, and I quote, "The high-ranking Iranian delegation that has arrived in Pakistan is a staunch guardian of Iran's interests with all of its might, and in this vein, it will engage in negotiations with courage. In any case, our service to the people will not pause for a moment, and whatever the outcome of the negotiations may be, the government stands firmly with the people." Now, according to the Iranian state media, Iran's red lines include the release of Iran's blocked assets, a ceasefire in Lebanon, the control of the Strait of Hormuz, and also the payment of war reparations by the Americans and the Israelis. Iranian media has confirmed that the United States has agreed to unfreeze Iran's funds. However, earlier, the United States had denied unfreezing the Iranian blocked assets. Reports further say that the Iranian delegation is expected to continue the discussions about the violations of ceasefire in Lebanon. Iran had stated earlier that a deal with the United States is only possible if the negotiators prioritize an America-first approach rather than an Israel-first agenda, warning that the latter would lead to continued Iranian defense and higher global costs. Now, Pakistan has made it clear that it wants to position itself as a key mediator in the region, hoping that this initiative can lead to sustainable peace and also elevate its diplomatic standing. All right, now joining us on the broadcast, we've got Mr. Ben Aris, who is the founder and editor-in-chief of BNE Intel News and also the former Moscow bureau chief for the Daily Telegraph. Is joining us live from Berlin. Mr. Aris, thank you very much indeed for joining us here on WION. Now, this engagement that is currently underway in Islamabad between the American representatives and the Iranian representatives is said to be the highest level of interaction between the two nations. It's coming after 5+ weeks of war. In your assessment, which side do you think has the advantage in these negotiations?
I think it's absolutely clear that Iran holds all the key trump cards in this and it's come with a very hard maximalist line. I mean, if you look down the list of the red lines that they've laid out, their demands, they're pretty extreme. I mean, they want everything. They want an end to the war. They want a security guarantee promise from the states that they will never attack again. They want US troops out of the Gulf completely. They want reparations, or at least their frozen assets returned, and they want, and this is the key one, they want to keep control over the Strait of Hormuz, which previously was open to everyone, and now it's going to be a toll road supervised by Iran, which gives them enormous geopolitical clout.
Interesting. Now, the fact that from the American side, the negotiators are effectively the same, but this time around we also have JD Vance Donald Trump has gone on record and said that he started this war on the advice of Steve Witkoff and his son-in-law Jared Kushner and Pete Hegseth. In your assessment, who do you think will wane more with the president, or who do you think has the American president's ear closer to them? Is it going to be Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, who are at this moment negotiating with the Iranians, or is it JD Vance, who had stayed back behind the scenes in the course of this war?
Well, this is a very interesting question. That normally it should be Marco Rubio, who's the Secretary of State, the Foreign Minister, who should be at these talks. But they've upgraded to send Vance, who's the Vice President, and that's okay. That signifies the enormity, the importance of these talks. And also, the Iranians specifically asked for Vance because he's been really dovish on this war. He has not been a supporter of it, whereas, as you say, Witkoff and particularly Kushner have pushed for the war. And having Vance there, who outranks them, so in theory, that whatever the deal he does is the deal that America's doing. And when they go back to Trump, the fact that Trump let Vance go, I think, is already another concession on the Trump administration side, because they want to see this deal done. And they sent the guy who's most likely to get it done, because the Iranians see Vance as someone who's going to be an honest broker, or at least be honest in his position about ending this war, because he's been dovish on it, as opposed to sending someone like Hegseth, who was very hawkish and wanted the war in the first place. So I don't know. I think it's actually significant that Vance is there. And he personally has a lot at stake here, because he's said to have presidential ambitions. And if he delivers this peace deal, he puts himself in a superb position for that.